has brought on what becomes the Battle of Chickamauga is Braxton Bragg's realization after having been forced to abandon the city of Chattanooga on September the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and then missing two opportunities to strike at the Union Army while it is still widely scattered over the mountainous terrain, that despite missing those two opportunities, he still had a chance to potentially strike at the Union Army when it was still vulnerable and before the Union Army could consolidate itself on the city of Chattanooga. And as he looked at the situation, as intelligence came into his headquarters about the position of the Union Army, particularly intelligence gathered for him by the cavalry under Nathan Bickford Forrest on his right flank, he increasingly began to see on September the 14th and 15th that there was basically a 14-mile space between what will become the left flank of the Union Army down at Lee and Gordon's Mill, about 4 miles south of where we are right now, and the city of Chattanooga, 14 miles to the north of Lee and Gordon's Mill. And he, over the next couple of days, the 15th, 16th, 17th, and even into the 18th, as he gets a better grasp on this, he begins to refine this plan of trying to move his army up from the south, southeast, and east, and to try to get them in between the Union Army and Chattanooga. Now, as many of you all know from having participated in the Bragg panel discussion this morning, that the poor relationship between Bragg and his senior subordinates handicapped most of all communication. Bragg and his senior subordinates are not getting along with one another well enough to clearly communicate with one another, and Bragg also is not communicating, even in writing, in a clear fashion. And so when Bragg went to implement this concept, this plan that he has been developing, first on the 17th, but then postponing it 24 hours, and then going to really implement it on the 18th. Not all of his subordinates down the chain of command understand it. And that will then result in large measure to the poor execution of the concept on September the 18th, and it has an impact even on how what became the fighting on September the 19th unfolded. As a result of that fighting on the 19th, the two armies have come together along a general battle line that is depicted by the blue for Union and red for Confederate blocks on this map. Now, this map depicts just the 5,000 acres of the Chickamauga Battlefield unit of the National Military Park, and the actual Battle of Chickamauga takes place on more ground than just these 5,000 acres. But for illustration of this purpose, this will generally give you a sense of how that heavy, costly, bloody, intense, but indecisive fighting of September the 19th came to be by the end of the day. The two armies have generally come together along this line that is depicted on the map. And even before the last of that fighting on September the 19th had died down, before the last of Patrick Claiborne's abortive effort at an advance, the evening of the 19th had died away. Bragg, at his head